Okay, let's be honest. You've probably clicked around on some online courses yourself, especially recently.
Oh, definitely. It's hard to avoid them now.
It's pretty much part of the learning landscape, right?
Hmm.
So for this deep dive, we're really zooming in on that landscape, the world of online learning.
Hmm.
And we're looking particularly at platforms like Coursera and Udemy.
Two of the big ones for sure.
Think of this as your like fast track to understanding what these places actually offer and maybe more importantly, where online education seems to be heading.
Yeah, what's next?
Our goal today is pretty straightforward.
Mm.
Just give you a solid grasp of this whole scene, this evolving educational world, and hopefully offer some useful insights for your own learning journey.
Absolutely. We've been digging into the trends, the possibilities, trying to figure out what makes Coursera and Udemy tick.
And what that means for you, the learner. It's striking just how ingrained online learning has become, isn't it?
It really is. It's not just some, side thing anymore. It's genuinely a core way lots of people are getting new skills.
Or even proper qualifications.
Exactly. Formal qualifications, too.
Okay, so let's start with Coursera. Let's take a closer look there. It kicked off back in, what, 2012?
Yeah, Stanford professors.
Right. And what really stands out about Coursera is who they partner with. We're talking major universities, Stanford, Yale.
And big companies, too, right? Like Google, IBM.
Exactly. So it definitely has this strong academic feel, very credential-focused.
Totally. And that shapes everything they offer. You can dip in with just one course, maybe explore something new.
Mm-hmm.
But they also have pathways to like full degrees, bachelor's, master's.
Wow, full degrees online.
Yeah, and those professional certificates that employers seem to be valuing more and more.
And here's the bit that probably makes people sit up the cost. Your wallet might actually, breathe a sigh of relief.
Yeah, potentially.
I mean, imagine getting a master's degree from a pretty well-respected place, maybe for under $10,000, on Coursera.
Yeah.
Now, compare that to, what, 60,000 plus if you were on campus?
Yeah. It's a massive difference. Huge.
That kind of cost shift, it's not just saving cash, is it? It sort of reevaluates the whole value thing, accessibility.
That's a key point. That accessibility really opens doors for people who just couldn't do the traditional route, for whatever reason.
Yeah, totally changes the game for some people.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's Coursera. Now, let's maybe switch gears a bit and look at Udemy.
Right.
If Coursera is kind of like that organized university campus, Udemy feels more like a massive bustling market.
That's a great analogy. Yeah, it's a really open model. Basically, anyone who thinks they have expertise can create a course.
Anyone, really.
Pretty much. And anyone who wants to learn can just sign up. So you end up with this incredible, variety of topics.
Like what? You give me an example.
Oh, anything. From mastering Python programming to baking sourdough bread. Apparently, that's quite popular.
Sourdough bread. Okay, and you often see those courses going for super low prices, right? Like $10 sometimes when they have sales.
Yeah, the price point is often much lower, very budget-friendly.
But, and this is maybe the catch, the quality can be a bit variable.
Right. That's definitely something to watch out for. Yeah.
I remember signing up for one once, graphic design, I think,
Yeah.
because it was cheap. And, well, some bits were good, but other parts,
Yeah.
you had to sift through it.
Exactly. Because it's so open, you don't have that same institutional stamp of approval you get with Coursera.
So you got to rely on reviews.
Reviews, previews.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do your homework before you buy. That's crucial.
But on the flip side, Udemy is incredibly fast, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. Super responsive.
Like if some new tech pops up, I don't know, ChatGPT or that Web3 stuff, you'll probably see courses on Udemy almost straight away.
Okay.
Much faster than a university could ever move.
Way faster. Udemy really taps into what's happening right now in the market, and the instructors are often people actually doing the thing they're teaching.
So it's very practical.
Very practical, yeah. Geared towards current industry needs, usually.
Okay, so if we try and sum it up, Coursera seems like the place for structured, accredited learning, especially if you want something recognized for your career, like that Google Data Science certificate, maybe.
Yeah, spot on. And Udemy, that seems perfect for people who are, self-motivated. They want to grab a specific skill quickly.
For different reasons, maybe freelancing or a side project or just curiosity.
Exactly. It offers a ton of flexibility, and it feels, I guess, less formal.
So we've looked at Coursera and Udemy as they are now. But what about the future? How might all this online learning evolve? Where is it heading?
Well, connecting this to the bigger picture, I think we're going to see much more blending, online learning getting integrated right into traditional education.
Hybrid models, you mean?
Yeah, exactly. More universities mixing in-person stuff with online elements.
That makes sense. The whole idea of just being on campus for 4 years feels a bit old-fashioned sometimes. People want flexibility.
They do, balancing learning with work, life, travel, all that stuff. And we're also seeing this big rise in what people call micro-credentials.
Micro-credentials, like where?
Think nano degrees, digital badges, specific skill certificates. They're often stackable, maybe more affordable.
And they show employers exactly what you can do.
Yeah, precisely. It's clear evidence of specific skills. It feels like employers are really starting to value that, maybe even sometimes over a traditional degree.
Interesting. So, like, having a Python certificate from Google is a really clear signal.
Exactly. It tells them something very specific about your capabilities.
And what about technology? How does that play into the future? AI and all that.
Oh, huge potential there. AI could lead to what we call adaptive learning systems.
Adaptive learning.
Yeah. Imagine systems that actually adjust the content based on how you are learning. If you're struggling with, say, statistics.
Always statistics.
Right. The AI could notice that and automatically give you extra practice or maybe explain it in a different way that clicks better for you.
So the tech learns about you to teach you better.
Kind of, yeah. It personalizes the experience. That sounds incredibly powerful.
What about things like VR? Virtual reality, is that going to be a thing in learning?
I think so. The potential for VR and gamification to make learning more engaging is massive.
Like how?
Well, imagine learning history, maybe ancient Rome, by actually walking around a virtual version of the city.
Wow, okay. That beats a textbook.
Right. It makes abstract stuff feel much more real, more memorable. There are challenges, of course.
Like everyone needing a VR headset.
Yeah, accessibility is one, and cost of development. Plus, instructors need to learn how to actually use these tools effectively. It's still early days, but the potential's there.
So the overall trend feels like it's heading towards learning that's more interactive, personalized.
And globally accessible, yeah.
It sounds much more dynamic, focused on the learner.
I think so.
Okay, the big question then. Maybe the elephant in the room.
Mm.
Will all this online stuff eventually just replace traditional schools? Like face-to-face education?
Probably not completely. From a, nuanced perspective, a total replacement seems unlikely.
Why is that?
Well, there's still real value in that direct in-person interaction, the social side of learning, especially for, say, younger kids.
Right, the classroom dynamic, bumping into people.
Exactly. You can't fully replicate that online. Not yet, anyway.
So it's more about them working together. Online enhancing traditional methods, not substituting them.
I think that's the more likely path, yeah. Leveraging the strengths of both to create better, more flexible options for everybody.
Okay, so wrapping this up, what does all this mean for you, listening right now, thinking about your own learning?
I think the key takeaway is really about mindset. Developing that attitude of continuous learning, being adaptable.
Yeah, things are changing fast.
They really are.
Yeah.
So whether you end up using Coursera or Udemy or something else entirely, or even sticking with traditional routes, the landscape is full of opportunities.
It feels like staying curious is the main thing, being open to new ways to learn.
Absolutely. The tools are out there more than ever before. It's really about embracing the possibilities.
Right. So on that note, maybe here's a final thought for you to chew on. How will you actually use this changing world of online learning to get where you want to go, for your own goals, personal or professional?
Yeah, that's the real question, isn't it?
Definitely something worth thinking about as you continue your own learning journey.